Hey there again, folks. Welcome back to New Day, New Game. And today we're playing Heirs and Graces. Now, I would like to thank the folks over at Winter Wolves for letting me try this game out for free. Um, I had this for quite a while and haven't ever gotten around doing a video. I always was like, will I do like a let's play of this or will it just be a video? I was always undecided, and as I've said before, I've been in and out of YouTube, so yeah, just haven't got around doing it. So this is a one-off video. Probably won't be a series, but if you guys really enjoyed it, then a bit down the line, I might come back to it and do a full let's play of it. So let me know if that's something that you want. I'm going to assume that this game is going to be pretty good. Let's say the folks at Winter Wolves, I can't remember. Let me try this for free. I can't remember if I said that. So thanks for letting me try this game for free. If I forgot to mention that, I got distracted by me saying I was meant to play it before. So I have a terrible memory. It's horrible. You guys are like, probably wondering like how I forget stuff in my let's plays from one episode to the last. I forget things before like 2 minutes is up. Because this video's I've only been recording for a minute and a half. I've already forgotten stuff from it. Anyway, what I was going to say was, these developers made a game called Lauren, the Warrior Princess, the Amazon Princess. I'm gonna look it up real quick. And I played it. That's the point. I played it several years ago. Amazon Princess, I remembered right. That's like Warrior Princess. I've seen it. Okay, I'm going to assume that the recording did not screw up me tabbing out of it. I played that and actually really enjoyed it. It was like a RPG mixed with visual novel, and yeah, it was really fun. Played it probably 3-4 years ago. And so yeah, I'm sure that this game is going to be probably the same quality. I don't know if it's going to have the RPG elements to it, but I'm sure it'll have, a lot of the same aspects to it. They seem like they focus a lot on, visual novel type games, Anyway, my body is still, every muscle tense in a mixture of nerves and anticipation. Before me looms the Sandor estate. A vast plot of land with a mansion 2 stories high, meticulous detailed from the set of marbled wolf statues. Meticulously detailed from the set of marble wolf statues guarding the mahogany front doors on. I can safely say that I've never seen its like, though that's not saying much. I may be the son of a noble lord, but I'm also my mother's son. Instead of being raised in a place like this, I spent my childhood growing up on the streets. Can't say it was easy, but my mother and I always found a way to make it work one way or another. Not bitter about that. What I'm bitter about is the way my father abandoned my mother. I mean, I get it, I do. He would have had to give up everything to be with her. His fortune, his social ties, his way of life, everything. Still, he should have been prepared to do that the moment that he asked her to risk the same. He had no right getting involved with her when he could even do that. Close my eyes and take a deep breath, trying to calm the surge of anger that my thoughts have ignited. Is that why I'm here? To demand answers on my mother's behalf? To look him in the eye and list everything he's forced her to go through because he'd said he loved her in the hopes that he'd conjure up some form of regret? No, I don't think that's it. I don't want him to ever know who I am. That's why I'm applying here as a servant and not approaching him as his son. I just need to know. As to what I need to know, well, I haven't figured that part out yet. I have to sum it up as an unwholesome curiosity until I sort out these thoughts. I don't know what will happen when I cross the mansion's threshold, but I decided to do this. There's no point in backing out now. It'd be a pretty short game if he were to just not get the job. I'm assuming that we're going to get the job, but it would be funny if he just got there like, I don't think you're quite cut out. Okay, bye. I work up my nerve before stepping towards the door. Then I take the brass knocker into my hand and hit it against the door 4 times. I only have to wait a second before the door clicks open to reveal a poised butler with a serious expression. But the guy standing there, just in case somebody knocked out. Maybe that's what he does all day. He just stands by the door like, 3 hours passed. I wonder if anybody will. Yay! Somebody knocked. I can do my job. Good afternoon. My name is Marcel, and I'm here to. You're the boy Mrs. Julian recommended. Not so keen on the boy part, but the fact that he knows about me makes things a bit easier. I thank Mrs. Julianne for the next time I visit her shop. That's right. Then you're looking to be hired on as a servant, is that right? Yes. Excellent. Let's go ahead and get you started then, if you'll just follow me. Just like that, you don't need to ask any questions or check out my references. Mrs. Julianne's judgment tends to be spot on, and as long as you don't turn out to be completely incompetent, I should be able to find some use for you. He steps aside to let me in. Nice. It's nice to know that to maintain our job, we our mark is just to be above completely incompetent. Think I can manage that. It's not guaranteed, but I think I can manage it. Tends to be how I get by. Being just above completely incompetent. I'm not an enter, stepping into the foyer. If possible, the mansion is even more impressive on the inside. Yeah, they got a lot of stuff there. You'd think that with that big statue that, you know. Well, I don't know about architecture. Maybe that wouldn't cause any like pressure from the wall. But I would think that, you know, like definitely the walls we've got here in the apartments, you know, if you like put a like a 500-pound statue there, that wall's not gonna stay together. It's gonna come boop, and I'd probably die from it, you know. Just a random thought, not important to the story. I'm not an interest stepping into the foyer. If possible, oh yeah, I already read that. I only have a second to get swept up in the grandeur of it before Mr. Butler passes me and starts down one of the halls. Good, we don't have to worry about any statues falling on us in here. Follow him to a bedroom. It's small and very plain compared to the rest of the house. Practical, perhaps, but not exactly luxurious. I don't like to make assumptions, but I have a feeling this will be my room. Sure enough, this will be your room while you work here. It's admittedly not much, but chances are you won't be spending much time here anyway. Meaning we're going to be working you like a dog. Notice that there is only one bed. I was expecting to have to share the room with at least one other person, but if there's only one bed, that's probably not the case at all, after all. I'm not sharing it with anyone. That is correct. I'm not sure what I'm going to be, what I'm going to do with so much room. It may not be fancy compared to the rest of the house, but it's bigger than most of the places when I call it home. Warmer too. Lord Sandor used to employ more servants, but lately he keeps just enough to run the mansion. It means more work for the ones he does employ, but on the plus side, you do get the room to yourself. I go quiet for a moment, wondering if asking why would be inappropriate. I decide to risk it, figuring it wouldn't result in anything too drastic since it's my first day. Mr. Butler probably doesn't expect me to be perfect right away. Why's that? I don't know, even if I did, it would not be my place to say. It is our job to see Lord Sandor's wishes fulfilled, not questioned. Of course, I'm sorry, I won't ask again. As long as you understand. While we're on the topic, I suppose I should go over the house rules. First, never begin a conversation with any lords or ladies that may come to visit. Only speak to them when spoken to and be sure to give them your full attention. Keep still and make sure to look at the person addressing you. Keep your answers brief and as agreeable as possible. Sorry, I just was thinking, telling to be quiet, stuff like that. I was just thinking, man, it'd be bad if, if some fancy, lady was there and we maybe eating something that disagreed with us, and we would go like, and got him a coughing, fit, and be like, because I've done that. I've coughed, and luckily I was like here in this room where nobody could hear me, but if I'd been in public, that would have been quite embarrassing to cough and fart. I think I've actually sneezed and farted too. Sometimes you just can't help it. I know I'm weird. That's what I think about when people like, be quiet, don't draw attention. Sometimes you just can't help but fart. Thankfully, in 12 years of working in retail, I don't think I ever farted to where a customer could hear it. I don't think. I snuck a few out, Some like, if I was on an all to myself, working, but I never actually. I don't think any customers ever heard any. Although there was one guy who who worked there who would talk. He talked about he was an older guy, which made it even funnier. About how if he saw a customer, like there was like 3 sets of aisles in Toys R Us I worked at. If there was like one on down that way and he saw him coming, he'd go like he would sneak one out and then go on to the next aisle and let the customer walk through it. Anyway, unrelated. These rules do not apply to other servants, but it is important that you do not hold conversations in front of guests. He goes on for a good 10 minutes. It's a bit overwhelming, but most of it is common sense. If you break something, it comes out of your wages. Don't remove items from the original rooms unless given special permission, and so on. As long as I keep myself in check, I should be okay. And finally, all servants must be back in the mansion before nightfall. To prevent any amoral implications, I suppose. A servant with a bad reputation can reflect badly on their employer after all. If a servant is a liability, it's easier to let them go. Again, common sense. Did you get all that? I can go over it once more if you wish. Please know, there was a lot of good information in there, but I really don't need to hear it again. That's alright, it's all pretty straightforward. There shouldn't be any problems. Mr. Butler gives me a satisfied nod before heading to the door. He opens it and once again steps aside to let me pass. I feel a bit like a high-born lord having him hold the door for me in such a gentlemanly manner. It's a bit odd to me, but I guess that this is a normal behavior for a professional butler. I think I'd benefit from making a note of it. Shall we go see the rest of the house then? Before that, sorry if you already said it, but I didn't catch your name. A seemingly uncharacteristic blush creeps onto the butler's cheek as his eyes meet mine. A crack in his refined to a fault facade. He looks genuinely mortified over forgetting such a routine convention. Forgive me, it slipped my mind. It's fine, you were busy explaining things, so of course it slipped your mind. He's still a bit pale, but he calms down enough to at least answer the question. It'd be funny if his name really was Butler. Gerard Butler, that's an actor's name, right? What did he play? I'm having trouble bringing the face to mind either. But Butler is a real name. I think I went to school with a guy named Butler too. Think so? Can't remember. Anyway, it'd be funny if that really was his last name. He wound up becoming a butler. So we just kept calling him Mr. Butler. If his first name was Butler too, then that would be weird though. Even so, it is not something that should have happened. I'll endeavor to make sure I don't repeat the same mistake again. My name is Vincent. I apologize for not telling you earlier. I hope you can excuse my rudeness. He has a small bow to emphasize his apology. That's really not necessary. Keeps up the bow, refusing to back out of it. I roll my eyes. I suppose an unexceptionally cruel noble would expect this level of groveling before granting their forgiveness, but that's just not me. Kind of regret asking, but I did kind of need his name. Mr. Butler works well enough as far as my own thoughts go, but he probably wouldn't like me calling him that out loud. I wait another second before I decide to try a different tactic. It's nice to meet you, Vincent. Vincent stands up straight at long last. Progress. The pleasure's all mine, Mr. Marcel. I look forward to working with you. I briefly debate whether or not I should bother trying to get him to call me just Marcel. Honestly, it's probably more effort than it's worth, but Mr. Marcel doesn't really sound right to me. It's okay to just call me by my name. You don't need to add the Mr. part. Vincent pauses to consider what I've said. He'd prefer it if I had just called you Marcel. It's not too much trouble. Very well. Huh, that was easier than expected. Thought for sure he'd make a fuss about it. Maybe he's not as rigid as I'd assumed. Maybe he just doesn't think as highly of you as he thought he might. I mean, I am assuming he's going to be your boss. Or at least higher up the chain than you know. I nod and together we head back to the foyer. It's foyer, isn't it? Rather foyer. I think it is, isn't it? I'm not sure. I don't know what a foyer is. I don't think I've lived in a house with a foyer. I'm googling that. What does foyer mean? Or foyer mean? We're gonna learn some vocabulary. Foyer. What does it mean? An entrance hall or another open area in a building used by the public, especially a hotel theater. Yeah, I've definitely never lived in a house with a foyer. Wait, okay. Google. How do you pronounce it?
Foyer.
I almost said it right the first time. Thanks, Google. We all learned something. What was I thinking it was foyer? I don't know. Sounds like it might be one. When the words. There, Vincent stops at the base of the stairs and turns to me. Seems to have recovered from his botched introduction, has resumed his professional demeanor. Lord Sandor's room is at the top of the stairs along with the guest rooms and his personal library. Most of the work you'll be doing up there is cleaning. You will spend a majority of your time on the first floor. I don't wish to disturb Lord Sandor, so we shall skip those rooms for the time being. In any case, the rooms should be easy to identify even without seeing them firsthand. The rooms at the top of the stairs are the guest rooms, and if you follow the hallway around past the suits of armor, you'll run into the library and Lord Sandor's room. That said, he turns on this heel and leads me to the next room. We go several places, including the cellar, the kitchen, the parlor, and so on, until we've covered the entirety of the first floor. As we go through each one, I'm given a lengthy lecture on the various jobs I might be asked to perform in each one. We finish touring the garden. It isn't nearly as impressive as I'd imagined it would be, considering the rest of the house. There's nothing wrong with it per se, but it does lack a certain artistry. Artistry? It could definitely use some colors besides just green. Some of the plants seem to be healthy, and I guess that's what matters. But I'm sure you've surmised this is the garden. I prepare myself for another long lecture from Vincent when a tall, muscular man approaches us. He'd been working with one of the plants when we entered the garden, so I half wonder if he chose now to approach in order to spare me from Vincent's lecture. This the new guy? His name is Marcel. Mr. Muscles looks at me appraisingly. I get a little self-conscious as his gaze lingers a few seconds longer than I'm comfortable with. Finally and mercifully, he turns his attention back to Vincent. A bit scrawny. Vincent lets out a small sigh. Not everyone is an ex-gladiator. In any case, he should be able to do most tasks just fine. My eyes widen and I look the man over again. He definitely has the body type and the scars. Well, I would have guessed it if I'd tried to be a little bit more analytical. Well, maybe I wouldn't have guessed former gladiator, but I would have suspected he used to be some type of warrior. He definitely seems more like a bodyguard than a gardener. They both have guard in it, though, so, I mean, there's like, and I guess one, is less stabby, though. He gives me a small nod. Kamal. What? His name is Kamal. You'll have to forgive him for being vague. He tends to get by using as few words as possible. Yes. I see. Well, it's nice to meet you, Mr. Kamal. Just Kamal. I didn't correct myself. Kamal, then. It's nice to meet you, Kamal. I'm not sure it is yet, but there's no harm in saying so. It was Marcel, right? That's right. He nods and leaves it like that. I'm not exactly sure how else to respond. Luckily, he doesn't seem to expect me to. Vincent gives us both a chance to continue our conversation before deciding he's the one who will have to move things along. Do you need an extra set of hands to help out? Not really. But you can find something for him to do. Sure. You'll watch over him and make sure he knows what he's doing. Kamal responds with another nod. We're finished with the tour then. Yes, you'll spend the rest of the day helping Kamal in the garden. He'll let you know when you're done. I'm quite alright with that. I have enough information to process as it is. So it's nice to know I'll get a break from Vincent's lectures for the time being. Okay. Alright then, I'm entrusting them to you, Kamal. Now if you excuse me, I have a job to get back to. Kamal and I nod, and Vincent takes his leave. Once he has gone back into the mansion, Kamal breaks the silence. You get used to him. Seems nice enough. Kamal gives me a look. Alright, he might just be a little too serious. That's not a bad thing, though, considering his profession. Kamal lets out a small chuckle. True. He leaves it at that, creating another moment of silence. I suppose that this is something I'll just have to get used to with him. As long as he doesn't expect a response every time, it shouldn't be a problem. So I guess just let me know what to do and I'll do it. Kamal nods and we get to work. Okay. Mostly end up watering plants. Kamal does most of the harder work, even though I tell him I can handle it. Doesn't seem to be in any rush as he goes about his duties. He does everything at his own pace. All in all, it's actually kind of relaxing. I don't think I'd mind being assigned to garden work again. The day draws to a close and I head back to my room. I flop onto the bed and stare at the ceiling. I didn't see Lord Sandor at all today. I guess he trusts Vincent to handle employing servants by himself. A little disappointed, but I'm mostly relieved. I convinced myself I was ready to see him when I knocked on the door, but now I'm going back and forth on the issue. Well, I'm sure I'll have to face him eventually. I just don't know exactly when. I try to stop thinking about it. I let out a sigh and think about Mom. I didn't tell her I was coming here, just that I was looking into a long-term job in town. She'd probably be mad if she knew. I'll come up with something to tell her when I write to her tomorrow. Close my eyes and focus on getting to sleep. Whoa. Whoa, what? Okay. I thought we were more the peon, that we were going to be told what to do. Okay. So this has strategy tapped to it. What does these on and off mean? Does that keep us from meeting them? That would be a really easy way to target it. This does have romance to it, so I guess these are the 4 eligible bachelors. Physique, decorum, knowledge, and leadership. Do the stats in these add up to leadership and so on? I don't know. Okay, haul luggage. Why do nobles insist on bringing so much stuff when they visit? Pretty sure they think twice about it if they were the ones who had to carry it. Yeah. Kamal makes it look easy, but taking care of all the plants in the garden actually takes quite a bit of diligence. At least he's around to help with most of it. Somebody has to reply to letters Lord Sandor gets, and it's not going to be him apparently. Guess it at least gives me a chance to work on my etiquette. Okay, so these line up to these over here. It kind of like highlights a little bit. Okay, charm shopkeepers. Seems like a weird thing to spend a whole day doing. Like, hey, how you doing? How's those apples? What about them? Instead of like 10 shillings, how about 9? How about 9? Can I have it for 9? If I buy one more, can I get it for 9? Yeah, thanks. Yeah. I can get better deals from shopkeepers if I get on friendly terms with them, so it's in my best interest to work on my charm. Of course, every time Eloy tags along, he seems to overshadow me. Okay, well, that's hinting for Eloy. So that's Kamal. I know I shouldn't, but I might sneak a peek if I find a particularly interesting title. There's a chance that Borges might catch me while he's borrowing books, but he can keep a secret. Okay, so it seems like these sides are going to wind up maybe being encounters. Practice makes perfect, I guess. Being around nobles is the best way to get a sense of what they want. There will always be something to clean in this place. On the plus side, it usually gets me away from the nobles for a while. Keeping track of everything Lord Sandor owns at any given time is an immense task. Is it sick that I kind of enjoy it? Vincent checks in on me occasionally to make sure everything is going well. Okay, so... Oh, no, that's... Okay. So let's... Oh, no, dang. There we go. Let's meet the other two guys. I don't know. Oh, dang it. Stop it. I really don't know what to really target here. Okay, that's a different thing. Of course, to get the different endings, you have to be specific. I'm just picking one of everything, kind of. Except for what did I not pick? No. Haul luggage. No, I picked that. I don't know what. Gardening. We didn't. We already met Kamal, so. Okay, charisma +2. Education +1. Our strength, yeah. Oh. Find Kamal working in the garden as usual. Today he's busying himself by trimming some more unruly looking bushes. Makes one last cut before looking my way. Vincent sent you? Yep. Kamal nods. There's a watering can by the shed. Right. Head over to the area Kamal had pointed out and find the watering can he's talking about. Fill it up with water and water the plants along the side. They don't need too much, so be careful not to overdo it. I nod and get to work. Doesn't take me long to finish. I briefly wonder if I should water any other plants while I'm at it, but ultimately decide that if that's what Kamal wanted me to do, he would have said it. Kamal finishes up what he's working on and then walks over to where I'm at. He kneels over and checks the soil near the plants I just finished watering. I didn't think very much of it when I was doing it, but now I'm wondering if I did the job properly. Seems about right. He stands up and wipes his hand on his pants. Good job. Wasn't exactly hard. No. But you still did a good job. He reaches out, wordlessly offering to take my watering can. Hand it over and he takes it back to the shed where I originally got it. I guess we're done with that particular task. So what's next? Nothing. Nothing? Nothing. And you're telling me we've already finished for the day? Yes. But all I did was water some plants. Yes. Well, isn't there something else we can work on? Kamal shrugs. Probably come up with something. Aside, if he actually has to try to come up with something, it's not really worth it. Well, you're the one who was pushing the issue. Don't be complaining now. That's not necessary. Sorry to disappoint. Not disappointed. Just surprised. Is this pretty typical? And he could go back to his room. I mean, there's not Game Boys or video games. We could probably you could. I'm assuming that people who actually had time on their hands probably would prefer, to have a room to themselves, like he does. uh, yes. And Vincent doesn't have you do anything else. Only when he needs something heavy lifted. And what do you do with all your free time? Whatever I want. That's not a helpful answer. I must be making a face because Kamal laughs and gives me more specific ones. Practice, mostly. Practice. Again, he was what I was saying. If you have a lot of free time, back then there were no electricity, no TV to watch, no nothing. What you could do? I'm sure a lot of people, did do important stuff, but there was probably, people who were just sitting around, just, I don't know why I'm beating around the bush. They probably played with themselves, like, my job's actually done for the day. I finished early. Got nothing to do. Okay. I'll just sit and play. Oh, you mean you practice fighting, right? Yes. I'm technically Lord Sandor's bodyguard, so I try not to let myself go too much. Wait, you're his bodyguard? That's right. I'm the bodyguardian. No, bodyguarder. Dang it! I screwed up the terrible pun. It was terrible to begin with, but then I screwed up. Bodyguarder. But you're also the gardener. Kamal shrugs. Technically, Lord Sandor doesn't have a gardener. He fired the last one and didn't bother hiring another one. Oh, I hate when that happens. Working retail sucks when that happens. So, we'll wait like 6 months to fill this important position. Vincent was the one who got stuck taking care of it before I came along. Of course he did. That man works way too hard. Kamal cracks a smile. That he does. I respect him for it, but he does take a little too far upon occasion. Taking care of the garden on top of all of his other duties was making him a bit crazy. Since I wasn't really doing much, I figured I'd take over for a while. Give Vincent a bit of a break. Man, he's talking a bit. It stuck, and that was that. I became a gardener. It's not exactly what I saw myself doing when I started here, but I like it. Turns his gaze towards the garden, overlooking all the plants he's taking care of. It's very different from tearing people down in the arena. Kamal grows a bit quieter when before adding a few more words. Not that I minded that either. Can't be sure I'm reading them right, but I get a sense that Kamal feels a bit of guilt over that. Kind of want to ask. Instead, I just watch him for a long moment as he stares blankly into space. When I finally had enough of the silence, I try to strike up a conversation, leaving the former topic for another time. The plants look healthy and all, but I think the garden could use some more color. You think it needs more color? He scratches the back of his neck, giving the garden another look. I would have thought that bits of constructive criticism would have been obvious. It's mostly just green right now. I think some bright flowers or something would liven it up a bit. Of course, that'd mean more work. It might be a stupid idea. It's not. It's just, I'm lazy and don't want to do the extra work. I knew it was a little plain, but paused for a moment, thinking it over. I could ask Lord Sandor if he'd be alright with that. Think he'd have a problem with it? No. I don't know if he'd fund it, though. I might have to spend my own money. Never mind then. It's not a big deal. It could be fun. I would need your help, though. Oh, no. It was your idea. Well, yes, it was, but I said it mostly as a conversation point. I didn't actually expect them to embrace the idea. Who is this guy? Larry David? Let me know if you need anything. Yeah, actually, yeah, Larry, I can help you do that. What? You just... I was just being polite. Can't remember what episode that's from, but I remember that being an episode. I'll buy the plants. But I do expect you to put in some work, and I do need you to pick out whatever we'll be planting. Sound fair? suppose that doesn't sound too bad. Good. If you're there, you can stop me from buying more green plants. Is that a subtle threat, or are you colorblind or something? Yes. To which one? Both. Interesting. Oh. It definitely explains some things. Kamau might have thought the garden was more colorful than it actually is. Now I feel kind of bad for bringing it up. Sorry, that was really insensitive, wasn't it? It's fine you didn't know. Mostly I have trouble with reds and greens. It's a bit annoying when I mix them up. But it doesn't hinder me too much. I can still do everything I need to. He doesn't see reds and greens properly. I guess he misses out on the aesthetic of Christmas. Come on, nods. Just do me a favor and try not to identify things by color when you're trying to point them out. I think I can handle that. I imagine you can. Kamau pauses a moment and strokes his chin thoughtfully. Did you have anything specific in mind? For the garden? Well, no, nothing specific. I didn't actually think you'd go along with it, and I'm not really the best at planning that sort of thing anyway. Fair enough. But maybe never mind. I can tell if it's a bad idea if you don't even tell me what it is. Very funny. Let me think about it a little bit more. I'll come up with something more solid, with some more solid ideas, and then let you know what I have in mind. What if we grow this stuff, since this is medieval times, there's no laws about it'll be a hit with everybody. You can tell me if it's a bad idea or not. Kamau smiles. You can get started now if you want. You have the time. You should probably spend it doing more work, though. Vincent would get mad if I just started goofing off, wouldn't he? Kamau places a hand on my head and ruffles my hair. Hey, take a break. Vincent sent you here. It means he doesn't need you anywhere else at the moment. Enjoy your free time while you can. Right. See, you say, but I feel kind of awkward just standing around doing nothing. Maybe we should try to come up with some ideas for the garden. Let's see. I don't think I'll come up with anything just staring at plants. I should try doing something that might generate some ideas. Okay, I was wondering if there was going to actually be choices in it. What is drawing out ideas? Like drawing them from your mind, or drawing them out like drawing, you know, artistry. Take a minute to look for a stick before. Okay, good. That's what I was thinking. Because wandering around seemed like it was going to be a less. Although I guess looking at other plants, like what other plants, you know, aren't here, but I don't know. Then again, wandering around a bit probably means he's going to be there in the garden, so he wouldn't be wandering like off the property. Take a minute to look for a stick before kneeling down and scratching lines into the dirt. Try to copy what is already there, but my drawing skills aren't the greatest. Still, I can tell what it is, and that's what matters. Kamau hovers over my shoulder and watches. Is that supposed to be the garden? Yes. He refrains from saying anything overtly negative, but I can tell he's unimpressed. Oh, like you could do better. Kamau holds out his hand, waiting for me to hand over the stick. I give it to him against my better judgment. As soon as he has it, he starts drawing it. It only takes a few seconds for him to prove that he's better at it than me. Man, this guy's like multi-talented. He's an artist. He's a gardener. He's a bodyguard. He's a gladiator. What is this guy not? Give him a beaker, he'll probably come up with some crazy science stuff like penicillin. I'm pretty sure this was well before penicillin existed. I think. In fact, he's really good, maybe even professional level good. It's a bit hard to judge accurately since dirt is exactly the best medium to work with. Maybe he's the one who made the sculpture that's on the wall. Kamau finishes and flashes me a cocky grin, knowing full well how talented he is. Feel like I need to knock him down a peg. So you're good at drawing. I'm still better than you at coloring. Yay! Kamau laughs. Was it the joke that made the relationship go? Like if we had not landed that joke, would it have been like, I'll bet you are. Anyway, let's focus. What did you want to try first? Take a second to think about it, and then point to an area that seems a bit on the barren side. Maybe try putting in some flowers here. Kamal nods and starts drawing what I requested. We spent a few hours going over some of the possibilities. I'm not sure my suggestions are particularly helpful, but Kamal is able to take them and turn them into something workable. In fact, by the end of it, I'm actually feeling a bit optimistic about the project. Might even be a little excited. So the next thing we need to do is pick out some flowers. That seems to be the case. We can look up flowers in the library to figure out which ones we want to try and get. Kamal smiles. We could. But I think we should call it a day for now. I take a look at the sky and realize that the sun is getting close to setting. And I hadn't realized it was already that late. Next time, okay? I nod. Sounds good. Okay, etiquette. Just realized that we had already met him, so that's why I was that's why I didn't pick gardening. But the thing we didn't pick was the thing we did. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and call the video here. Yeah, I enjoyed this. I like the strategy part of it. It's a bit like another game I played called Roommates. Was that by this company? I can't remember. Was that Winter Wolves? Played it some. Yeah, it was. Okay. Same company. Yeah, Roommates. It was a fun enough game. I like that part of it, like having to plan the schedule, that sort of thing. The whole college life part of it, it's like them going up to college and partying and stuff like that. And I mean, you could probably look at me and be like, "Shook, you're not a party guy, like a big woo party." You're like, shocking, right? Like one of them's a rocker, and yeah, not exactly characters I can relate with much. I mean, it was interesting enough, but I enjoyed it. That might be one that would be fun to do a let's play on sometime. I've kept it's actually still installed on my computer. I've been meaning to go back and play it and try to get some more of the endings for the achievements, but I haven't done it. But anyway, that reminded me of that. I like that part where you have to try to plan what endings you want and build up your character stats, that sort of thing. So anyway, yeah, I enjoyed that. I was hoping we'd meet some of the other characters, but I think we're going to wind up running into Vincent here. So yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and call it here. If you want to see me play more of this game, let me know, and I'll keep it in mind. I've got some other games that I'm wanting to play, obviously. But yeah, I'm definitely willing to come back to this game and play some more of it. I think this would be a fun visual novel. Seems like the characters are pretty interesting. Like the guy, I thought he was just gonna be quiet. Like it's gonna be hard to have a conversation with him, but seems like he's more animated than he seemed. So anyway, that's gonna be it. Let me know what you thought. Like the video if you liked it. Oh yeah, and the link will be down in the description if you want to check the game out for yourself. Oh, let me go back to it. I need to go back to it so I can see how much this is. Steam changed their library layout, so I'm having to try to remember. Yeah, it's $20 right now, so not a bad price. It looks like it's pretty meaty, So yeah, a lot of bang for your buck. I don't think literal banging. I don't think there's any like. I don't think this is a. I don't think there's like full on like nudity. The Lauren Amazon princess game had suggestive pictures, I remember, but they're not like full on. That it was safe for YouTube. So that's what that's what I'm saying. So anyway, I figure this game probably will be the roommates, same deal. So yeah, I liked it. Let me, like I said, let me know if you want to see more of it, and see you guys in the next game. Later, there, folks.